So today's my final capstone project. The name of my apps is Reminder Productivity Apps. So I will give everyone like 10 seconds to scan it and try it. But in case it doesn't work, don't report to me. All right. So introduction for my project. Actually, this project presents a comprehensive productivity apps utilization modern technologies for efficiencies and user engagement. Okay, but before that, introduction to myself. Here's my pretty face, as you can see. That smile, so wow, so gorgeous. So for the last day, I want to present my name. Is my full name is Muhammad Ali Asnawi bin Azmi. So the objective of my project is to create reminder apps for people like me. Actually, this one is very personal because for someone like energetic, but somehow I'm very forgetful because I have a lot of things to do in my mind. Eventually, somehow I will forget certain parts that important for me to do. So I have an idea to create my own apps. So like I mentioned in the statement, my days always filled with various plans, but they often very unmanageable because there's a lot. I scheduled my day from morning 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. So how I overcome it before this, most of the time I will jot down everything. I love to capture like small notes, reminder, tips, quotes, and I also screenshot a lot of jokes in my phone and in my laptop. And then for me to present today, also I wrote a lot of points what I need to talk, points what I need to highlight. So it's become a habit for me to stay organized and keep my talks clear. So this app also my target audience also for people want to lighten the burden of their brains, for someone like me, have a lot of things to do, but want to have a ease mind. I've done that. I put that in my reminder, so I don't need to remind myself again. The apps will remind for me. That's the idea, the rough idea on my apps. So I share a bit about my daily tools. In my phone, I have easy notes for me to put a note. I always typing, and then this is my calendar that I will put in my my phone to remind me what things I need to do. And also this is my diary. That's a small stuff. And also I love to write on books. Or here, for example, I have a books, I have a paper or tissue, something like that. I always wrote one. All right. So I will begin first with a demo video. All right. So this is what responsiveness that I created. Basically, if you scan on a phone, my design is only works in laptop and phones at this moment because I don't have time to create more varieties of responsiveness. So here I show example of creating a reminder. Users can put a title what they need to do today, and then a content create one post for demo. For this is demo one. So user can also put a status for example, not started, in progress, and then block, and also completed. So here, as you can see, it will show in the front page, and also there has a edit button where users can edit if they are want to update their reminder, and also there's a delete button so that every reminder that's completed that they don't want to remind it or can be removed. And also one more thing that people always forgot that we always want to remind something about our schedule, but one thing that we often forgot is how are we reminding about our memories. So that's how I came up with an idea to have a a page that can store pictures. So that's also like a reminder for me what I have done in terms of pictures. So here like users can add photos and then can view all the photos. Like it will pop up in the front, and then you can navigate back to the profile page here. And then one more key features in my apps is I added API's weather monitor, because usually I have a lot of outdoors activities that I want to do. For example, like jogging or swimming or hiking or have a trips. So having a weather monitor APIs help me to like monitor the weather. For example, I plan to go hiking, and then I can use like my weather monitor, like today will be a rainy day, or it will be a shiny day for me to enjoy the life, or something like that. So like a small feature that gives value to my apps, to my own self actually. So if I key in the places, and then it will return the value. That this one I just pick a few important parts for me, like temperature, sunrise, sunset, and weather. Right, so that's basically it, my apps. So I will go through so there's a demo, a little bit about my apps. So the technology that I use is we all know, like programming language, JavaScript. So the framework I use, the React.js service, online service that we use is Firebase authentication, Firebase storage I use to store the image, and then Neon database for me to store the to-do list, the reminder apps, the reminder list. So the tools that I use, we all use the normal things that we are learning in the class, like Visual Studio, Replix, GitHub, and Vercel. Also, this is how I architect my apps. For the front end, I use the React.js, the user interface where user can interact with my apps. User can create, view, edit, and delete their own tasks. And then for backend, I use Node.js. This one is to communicate between posts and the user's post. And then for the Firebase storage, I use to store the image. And then for deployment, I use Vercel to host the front end and make it accessible to users. And then the version control, we all use like GitHub to update it, and then easy to like trace our changes. All right, so I will go through a little bit technical stuff on my apps. So whenever users create their account, it will goes to the it will store in the authentication interface website. So the key point here is user will the system itself will create a unique UID for me to use in my apps. And then this is how I organize the storage Firebase. This is how I make a path where I create a user folder, and then in the users folder we key in all the users account, and then in each user's account we have a folder names image, and then in that folder we put in all the photos that users upload. So in the Neon users table, this is what I got. I create a ID column, UID to store from the Firebase, and then an email from the authentication, and then the create app. That one is not important, but the important part is this is the primary key here. I put it as an ID, so it will always it will be the primary key in the user folder. And then this is how it look like in my apps. And then this my post table where I make post ID as a primary key, and then the user's ID from user's table will be my foreign key. All right, so that you can see here in my post, it will reflect all the user's ID. So I can easily trace my post using specific user ID. All right. So, question to the floor. What type of relationship exists between the users and post table? So I would like someone to answer it. Please, please don't disappointed. Haris, he's been teaching it for us. Anyone?
A, B, C, or D? One too many.
Yeah, you are correct.
Hey, why is it red color? That means it's wrong. You guys are wrong.
I like, so I will give a round of applause for everyone that tried.
All right, very good. Very good.
So that's all for my apps. I've walked through all the important stuff. So the learning experience that whenever we are dealing with a big project, always break down to a small manageable task. For example, there's a lot of things that we need to do for full stack, right? There is front end we need to think. There is a back end. There is our database we need to architect. So always start with small first, and then don't go through like, okay, I want to complete today everything. No, we have to make like small achievable tasks. That's how we step down each stairs, and then we climb. Eventually, we can like complete it. So I use the most powerful tools nowadays is AI. So I will share a bit how I use AI. This is how I use AI. So I use AI as my private tutor because they don't have any like emotion, so I can ask anything. So I'm using this. Okay, if it relate, so it will reply. So how to change? So that it will give this explanation, and then I will read through all the explanation. Then that's how I learn. Because for me, like to engage with Haris or Safa every single time is like it's not impossible. It's impossible, right? For someone like to have a one-on-one tutor every single time is not like possible. For me, like I'm very beginners. I admit it. So this is how I learn. So I like this is my UIL. So how do I make a path or something like that? So it will recommend, and then I will try and error, and of course, ChatGPT will not always give the correct answer. So like that's also like we can learn by try and error. And then potential improvement for my apps. Maybe in the future I will like make a aesthetic user interface and then implement advanced search features and then optimize database query performance, something like that. And then more introduction to mobile responsiveness, and then the different platform like Tab, and then expand user feedback mechanism. And then lastly, I want to acknowledge Haris, Safa, and then Sigma support teams. Special thanks to I'm Salam because 8 hours the last Sunday is like wow, I want to cry. And then Han Lin Tun, he also helped me, and all the supportive classmates. Yeah, I appreciate a lot. So that's all from me.